Hey, my name's Neil. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to tell you about me entering an international vert skating competition. Yeah, okay, it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? I mean, I'm a beginner vert skater. I'm not competition standard. But actually, you might be surprised to hear that a lot of skating competitions are really open to everybody. I haven't really talked about it much, but I've actually entered some vert skating competitions before. Here in the UK, we have an annual competition called the UK Independent Vert Series, and it is a series of events that goes to different vert ramps around the country, holding competitions for vert skating, and it's open to absolute beginners up to professional standards. Literally anybody can join in and enter. Now, I haven't done before now, but I do intend to make some videos about that. If you look back on my channel, I have done some videos filming the actual events, and if you're a follower of my channel, you might remember me mentioning back last year that I was going to be helping out doing some of the live streaming of those events, and I did some of that and it was all good, and you'll see some of it on my channel or some of it on the UK Vert Series YouTube channel as well. So I'll leave some links down below if you want to see some highlights of those competitions. But also, you'll know if you've been following my channel that I'm an absolute beginner with vert skating. I don't really have many tricks, and it's taken me a very long time to actually learn any tricks. I'm afraid of heights. That might seem ridiculous in itself, but one of the whole reasons to start skating vert ramps was to try and address my fear of heights and try and come to terms with it and see if I could beat it. And you know, it's not going too badly. My drop-ins are still terrible. I did a video a while back about that. I'm still scared every time I drop in, but once I'm on the ramp I'm okay. But you know, I can ride a ramp. So anyway, every year there is an international vert skating event in Malmo in Sweden, and all my friends that I skate vert with and a lot of people from all around the world, the vert skating community around the world, all head to Malmo and join in on this international vert skating competition. It's called Vert Attack. It's been running for many years now, but actually there's been quite a long break because of COVID, and this past one that's just happened was the first one since COVID. So obviously for all those people that go every year, this year was a big one. It was time to get back to what they used to be doing every year, and the hype around it was pretty high. It sounded really exciting and I was quite keen to go, and I had thoughts about going. I hadn't actually made any solid plans. I hadn't booked any flights or anything like that or anywhere to stay, but I was quite keen on going, and at some point I sort of decided that perhaps I wouldn't go. I'd try and save the money and put it towards some other traveling. But as it drew closer and closer, I really felt like I really wanted to go. I didn't want to miss out on this year, this kind of comeback year, and there was no real reason for me to not go. I had the time off work. I spoke to my wife and she didn't mind either, so you know, it was just kind of, why not, why don't I go? And I pretty much left it until the week before to actually decide to go. So I got a last minute flight and hotel deal and I just headed straight out there. Some people were arriving earlier in the week to get that week ahead kind of practice time in, and there was a few events, like I think the best trick event started on the Wednesday, but I only had Thursday onwards off work, so I headed out very early on Thursday morning. So the route for me to get there was from London Heathrow Airport. I flew into Copenhagen in Denmark, and you might wonder why I go to Copenhagen instead of Sweden, but actually Malmo in Sweden is very close to the dividing water between Sweden and Denmark, and there is a train bridge across from Denmark to Sweden, so you just get a half an hour train across from Copenhagen into Malmo, and there we are, we're in Malmo in Sweden. So I arrived in the early afternoon, got to my hotel, dumped off my stuff, packed up my skate bag and headed to the skate park. So strangely enough, when I arrived, it was actually the practice session for the category that they call Masters for 40-year-olds and older. There's a veteran series for 50-year-olds and older, but mine was the 40 and older, and that's called the Masters. And when I arrived, you know, I saw people practicing that I knew and thought, oh, this is good. This is kind of something to look forward to. But I actually had no intentions of entering the competition at all. My plan was to go there and watch and enjoy the atmosphere. There was going to be an awful lot of really good skaters there from all over the world, some of the best. And so my plan to go wasn't to skate, it was actually to go and watch. And when I arrived, all my friends kind of looked at me and said, well, you're going to go and get stuck in then? And I was thinking, I hadn't planned to. And a few of them said, well, it's a shame to come all this way and to not join in and not skate it. And a few kind of frantic thoughts of, firstly, I've never ridden that ramp. Secondly, I'm afraid of heights, and this ramp's got more verts than perhaps maybe I'm used to. And it's in front of everybody. There's a lot of people here watching, and I can't skate vert very well. But anyway, after a little bit of kind of thought and people just saying go and get on with it, I said to myself, right, I'm gonna get kitted up, I'm gonna go and join in on the practice session, and all I need to know is, firstly, can I drop in on this ramp without just being so scared that I can't do it? If I can drop in and I can basically ride the ramp, like kick turn at least, I think I'll be all right. So I quickly got kitted up, ran up and got on the ramp and had a few practice runs. I think I did one practice run, got to the bottom and thought, yeah, I can do this. And I ran across and registered my name. So yeah, totally unplanned, but like everybody said to me, why not? And the whole atmosphere of the thing is anybody can get involved. And so it wasn't like I was thinking I was going to score well in a competition or anything. I wasn't even thinking about the competition side of it. It was just the fun of joining in with everybody else. So yep, they let me register, and then there was time to relax a little bit because our event was going to be much later in the afternoon, evening. I think it was like 7 p.m. So I had a chance to just kind of relax after having a frantic arrival and a quick run on the ramp and deciding that I was going to enter. So anyway, after that, throughout the day, there's various other practice sessions going on. There's the girls, there's the juniors, and then there's the pro-am, which is the professionals and amateurs, masters, which is my group, and then the veterans. So there's plenty of things to watch, lots of practice runs, some open sessions where any of the groups can join in, but basically that was the kind of schedule for the entire competition over the weekend. And the day that I arrived, and my event would be the qualifiers. So if you do well and qualify, you then go through to the semi-finals and then the finals in the next couple of days. So my event that I was entering was literally the qualifiers. Now don't get me wrong, as I said earlier, I had no intention of scoring or getting any further. It was literally just to ride the ramp for a competition and say, yeah, I skated Vert Attack. It was it's quite a legendary competition, and to just have taken part, it was great by me, and I think everybody else thought the same. So after a little bit of a break and relaxation and just watching everybody else, it came time for my event. And the structure of the competition was a little bit different to what I'm used to. So in the UK Vert Series, we get 3 runs of 30 seconds per run. If you jump off during your run, you can get back on and carry on. You've got literally 30 seconds to do what you want, and you get 3 chances of that. They cycle round, so there are various heats, and so one heat will generally be made up of between, 5 and 8 people, even less sometimes, and you just take turns in order that they call you out. You do 30 seconds and then they go back to the top of the list and start the names again. So 3 runs of cyclic 30 seconds going through each person. So I was kind of used to that makeup, and you get kind of 3 chances to pull a good run. But at Vert Attack, they do a slightly different formula where there is, I think it was 16 minutes where you continuously go one after the other for 16 minutes. So I think there was like 4 or 5 of us, and first person goes, does what they want. They either finish what they wanted to do and jump out the top, or if they fall, the next person will go after that. And it's just continually cycling through the list of people, as many runs as you can squeeze in 16 minutes. Now, as a concept, that's great, and I kind of like that idea because it means that you don't have to kind of complete a full run. You go for as long as you possibly can, and that's your run. However, if you do very short runs like I do, because I can't stay on for long enough, it means more runs. To be honest, it wasn't just the runs that were tiring you out. If you bail, come off or fall off, you need to run back up the stairs again and get up on the platform because your turn will be coming around again. To be honest, that absolutely killed me. It was the running back up the stairs and up onto the ramp that killed me more than the actual runs that I was doing. But anyway, I'm just going to show you the runs first and then talk about it a bit more afterwards.
Liam Hester is meeting next from the UK. He's got a cheering section. love those airwalks.
The color, the whole outfit, the color coordination. Man after my heart with the whole clothing and attire coordination.
Told me about the importance of the outfit on contest day, and seems like Neil got the memo for sure.
Absolutely. So not only is the outfit perfect, but the grip tape job is perfect.
Go. It's the final thing of the day. Scratch and coping. Just Neil Hester coming out from London. So we've got Neil Hester.
Thing about these things is they keep counting down. Yeah.
Next run, Neil Hester. Color coordinated and ready to go. Stall. Getting some speed.
Rock and roll, yeah. Foot coming off at the last minute on that rock and roll. Working up for it. Here we go, Neil.
Neil's coming in, trying to get both those trucks on the coping for y'all. Just coming off.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just saw.
The commentary was from Amelia Brodka and Peter Fernie and John Magnuson, who runs the Vert Attack thing. It's funny that the whole time they spent talking about my clothes and my shoes, and you know, in hindsight, it's like if you can't talk about the person skating because my skating was terrible, then what else to talk about but their clothes, you know, which is funny. But I like to look color coordinated when I'm skating, and they obviously picked up on that, and it was quite funny. But anyway, I thought I did quite well. I managed to somehow squeeze a rock and roll in there. I was trying really hard to get a 50-50 grind, but I just couldn't come back out of it. I just couldn't focus enough to turn back out of it. And there was a glimpse of a terrible backside air that if you follow my channel, you'll know that I'm not really having much fun with backside airs. So it was good fun. I had a great time. Just want to say a little bit about the ramp. I think the ramp is considered a quite small transition. I think it might be a 10-foot transition, and by today's standards that might be quite small, and considered kind of an old school vert ramp design. I can't remember whether it's 10-foot transition or 8-foot, but either way the ramp is considered quite small by today's standards. But the thing is that it has more vert than perhaps I might be used to with that kind of size ramp. So I think there's about 1.5 foot of vert, and you could definitely feel it. So when you drop in, it's not so bad, it's all gone in a second. But when you go up the other side, you feel like you're weightless for a little bit longer because the vert is a bit more. And so doing like a backside slash grind, or trying to do any kind of grind or any kind of lip trick, you feel weightless for a little bit longer. And I kind of mistook that to start with as the ramp being slippery. I thought the ramp might be feeling slippery, but I think it's actually just my weightlessness that I didn't have the grip on the board on the surface because I was weightless. It just felt a little bit different, and after only having like 1 or 2 runs on it, it was pretty difficult to do my best, but I was still surprised to get a rock and roll. But nonetheless, the ramp did feel very big. It has that channel in the middle with a flat wall that they put there as a kind of special trick kind of add-on, which was interesting. But the side of the ramp that I dropped in on, that end of the ramp was metal coping, and the opposite side of the channel was pool coping. So it's concrete pool coping on that side of the ramp on both sides, on that side of the cutout there, the channel. Which was interesting in itself. Didn't feel like any kind of challenge. You know, the pool coping ground quite nicely. It didn't feel like it was restrictive or hard or anything weird. So it's just kind of nice to have a bit of a mix up. But the ramp was very big, very fast, and I felt a lot more weightless for a lot longer. So those are my excuses, but no, I'm not making excuses. I'm not a good vert skater, as you could tell if you watch my channel regularly, but I was pleased with how I did. A lot of my friends were very pleased for me, so you know, mission accomplished. But anyway, the rest of the weekend was just incredible, absolutely insane, and I'm so glad that I went there just to watch what was going down, because you know, that was my original intention anyway. I'd only planned to go there to watch because I knew that it was going to be amazing. During the qualifier heats, things were going insane. People were pulling amazing tricks, and I was thinking to myself, how are they going to top this for the actual competition? And every stage, every set of heats, from the qualifiers to the semi-finals to the finals, it just got more and more, better and better. People were going higher and higher, pulling the wildest tricks. It was absolutely insane. It's the most incredible skateboarding I've ever seen in person, and I think even on TV or anything. You know, watching videos, it's really hard to get the same kind of atmosphere as actually being there. And in that seating area, you're so close to the ramp that you really do soak it up. So if anybody watching this is ever thinking about going to Vert Attack, do not hesitate. Go. It is incredible. It is amazing. And just to say, you know, there's some of the most amazing skateboarders in the world there, pulling some of the most amazing things. People like Tom Shah, Jeremy Green, Shay Donovan, Guy Curry, JD Sanchez, Sam Beckett, Jesse Thomas, just so many people that I can't even remember everybody right now. But yeah, it was just an incredible time. And I really urge you to go and watch the reruns of the live streams, because you'll get a gist of how amazing it was. You know, and actually for some of the real regular vert competitors, the ramp was a bit too small, and you know, they were pulling such big airs that they were hitting their backs and their heads on the ceiling of the place. You know, they wanted to go higher, but there was nowhere else for them to go. It was pretty incredible. So I also filmed a lot of that action myself, and I'm gonna add a little compilation to the end of the video now, just to give you an idea of how incredible it was. But I do urge you to go and watch the official Vert Attack live stream that was streamed from the event, and you'll catch all the action and the finals. And I'm not gonna spoil it for you to say who were the winners, because I want you to go and watch it. But yeah, it was just amazing, and I will go at every other opportunity that I can, and I think you should too if you can make it. Now, you're obviously wondering, where did I place in this competition? And of course I came last. That was you know, inevitable, wasn't it? So yeah, I came completely last, but I'm super proud that I went and I did it. And yeah, it was not a competition for me. It was just about joining in. Here's a compilation of some of the clips that I filmed, and just to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If this is your first video of mine that you're watching, feel free to leave a like. It helps promote the channel. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be doing more videos about vert skating and my skating in general in the coming weeks. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, and I will speak to you again soon. Cheers.